All right, guys. All right. So we have Melody Self here, and it's crazy that that's her last name because she's all about helping people with themselves release their inner badass. Miss Melody, are you there?
I am here. It's so great to be here today.
Hey, we got Bio Bootcamp is really rocking and rolling. Love what you bring to the table because yours has a lot to do with mindset, confidence, and when you're more confident, you feel more empowered, and that is a direct link to healthiness, right? So, because you want to
Exactly.
absolutely, you want to feel good. So talk to us a little bit about who you are and then let's get into those three tips. So, who are you, Miss Melody?
I am a life coach and I love helping women unleash their inner badass so that they can overcome their hangups, their hurts, their stories, and they can have the confidence to unleash their inner badass. A funny thing is I'm a mom to seven, and so I have a 21-year-old all the way to a 7-year-old, and in our life we had I had a son with stage 4 cancer, so I got to practice how to unleash that badass,
Mm.
and it was very necessary, and that's why I really have a passion for that.
Okay, all right, all right. Well, I'm glad to have you right here on Bio Bootcamp. So, as we go through these tips, what's tip number one?
Tip number one is your mindset. You have to know what you're thinking about. Mind your mind. So, what are you thinking on? What are you thinking about? Are you looking? I mean, I know it's really cliche to say, is the glass half full or half empty? But really and truly, what are you thinking on? Because what we think on grows. And if we were making it expand and become greater, so are we thinking about the things that we want? Are we always looking in the rear view mirror, thinking about the past? And are we moving forward and knowing our vision? It's very important to have that vision so you can move forward and really know where you're aiming for. Otherwise, wherever what you're going to get there by default instead of by decision.
Okay. So, what you're talking about when we talk about mindset, are you talking about surrounding yourself and feeding the right side of your mind as well? Reading those books,
Yeah.
being positive, listening to motivational things? Because sometimes mindset just kind of rubs off from the environment that you're in, right? It's a lot of times I think people would be more positive if they were if they purposely put themselves in the right environment. So would you agree with that?
Oh, definitely. And that's actually was leading to one of my other tips was about creating a healthy environment, because in a healthy environment isn't just physically, but it's spiritually,
Mm,
emotionally. And if you have people in your environment that are constantly or consistently tearing you down or abusing you or saying things to you in that way, and maybe you don't realize your value and your worth, then it's going to keep your courage way down and your confidence. And you will think other people don't like you or are thinking bad, they're thinking things that they're not even thinking. So definitely keeping elevating the people that you're around, elevating your environment so that you elevate your life. That is super key, just like what you were saying. Definitely.
absolutely, absolutely. I feel like we live in a world where people want to break you down to build themselves up. They want to keep you lower so they can feel as if they're on top. And that's why I always give a big shout out to my team, Justice League, and you part of the team as well, a brand new member of Justice League. I feel like everybody has a superpower to where we uplift each and every person that's on our team, that's in our team, and we all work together. So from that standpoint, we really are very supportive for each other, and to have somebody like you in in our midst to where we can learn from you as well and you can learn from us, that level of support is going to be awesome and amazing. So okay, so I may have taken one from you. I don't know if that was one of the three tips. What's tip number two?
Tip number two is what makes your heart smile. So, what I mean is sometimes we get lost, and especially I think as moms, we forget what do we like or what do we want to, what's important to us. And so we're all about the kids, always giving, giving, giving. And in the end, I've had so many moms come to me and say, I need to find me. And so it's about going back to what made your heart smile when you were younger. And if you don't know, or maybe there's things that you want to try that you haven't ever even done before, then go do it. If Some people love reading books. Some people like running. No running. I'm not really a runner, but I do like to swim. So maybe there's exercise that you can do. It doesn't even have to be exercise. Some people like to take a long bath with candles. It's what is making your heart smile, and really reconnecting to that, and finding almost, the inner child that love to play and love to have fun and love to smile, so that you can add and bring more joy into your life. It's really about creating more joy in your life. That's super important to be able to do that.
So when you say that, I'm looking, art is one of those things. I'm seeing all this art behind you, and I'm
Yeah.
like, well, somebody's heart is smiling over there. I see all of that art behind you. I know you said you had 7 kids, so you have to release the inner badass and probably, release the belt every now and then to whoop some of those
Hey, I
kids.
have one right there.
Right?
No, I'm
Absolutely,
just
absolutely. So,
kidding.
as we talk about the joy, right? I believe, and this is just my belief, that there's a difference between happiness and joy,
Oh,
right?
definitely.
Happiness is limited, right?
Hmm.
People put around happiness what they want in life. So if I get this car, I'm going to be so happy. If I reach this goal, I'm gonna be so happy. So if you don't reach it, then you set yourself up for
Hmm.
discouragement or whatever the case may be. If you reach it, now it's like, okay, now we've reached it. What do I do now? And so
Yeah.
now that you do that, but joy, depending on wherever you are financially in this world, your mindset, your your dynamic of which
Hmm.
your job dynamic, your family dynamic, any of those situations, joy is something that people can't take away from you. So when you
Yeah.
say, what fills you up to really bring that joy and makes your heart smile, that's true joy. So it's not, going to buy a new car brings true joy because you can't buy a new car every
Right.
day, right?
Right.
So that's happiness, right? I bought a new
Yeah.
car. Yay, I'm happy. The car broke down. Oh, I'm sad, right? But
Right.
joy is something that you're talking about that really makes you feel fulfilled, right?
Hmm. Right.
And your passion and purpose about it. Am I correct?
And yes, and it's really, I think it's an inner strength, because regardless of circumstances, you may be in the worst of circumstances, we even had a house fire, so we were homeless for a while, and it was really difficult, but if you just stay in that situation and always kind of stay stuck, but if you have this inner strength and inner courage and inner, knowing that all things are working out for your good. And like I've said before, if I'm driving from Houston and I'm going to California, I'm going to go through some deserts. But when I see where I'm going and I know the vision, I look for the joy up ahead. That doesn't mean I'm not going to have any joy along the way, because you get to decide if you're going to have that or not. It's, and I also know it's a muscle. I mean, if you're not accustomed to doing it, it may take a little bit more practice. Or if you're used to looking on the
Mm,
other side of things, or the realistic side, or however you want to call it, but allowing your faith to rise up and to have that, that really to me is a superpower. Being able to do that regardless of what it looks like, regardless of how the circumstances are, regardless of what people are trying or doing to you. It's really up to you to decide how is it going to affect you. And that goes back to your attitude again, but it's really so powerful. I think it affects everything, the way you're looking at it. And if you think, well, people are just out to get me, then all you're going to see is starting to see everyone out to get you, or all people are jerks, or whatever that word is that you say, or all men are this way, or all women are that way, or all kids are this way. Then they start showing up and you start only seeing that. If I
right,
say purple car, you're going to start being more aware of that purple car, and
right.
so those are ways that we can increase our joy and our happiness. Yeah, so they are definitely different. The joy, I just find that is a strength. That's a
Absolutely.
superpower.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I just want to add to the tail end of that before we get to number three is that challenges creates champions, right?
Yeah.
So a
Yeah.
lot of times when you're in a challenge and you're looking at it in a way that seems negative or pessimistic or whatever the case may be, if you remember that challenges creates champions, and when you're challenged, that you're going to come out bigger and stronger from it, and we just have
Mhm.
to sit down and figure it out, you now don't look at it that, from a negative standpoint. So
No.
absolutely, that's good stuff. And then what's number three?
Well, I wanted to say also, well, I call it, well, I said, number three was to create a healthy healing environment.
Okay.
And I wanted to really say that it's not. So the first thing when my son had this a horrible diagnosis, he's a teenager,
Mhm.
and I had to go set up, decide what am I going to do, and I could do all these things, but if he inside of him, I hadn't worked with his emotions. So emotions is a big part of it. I know I kind of go back to mindset, but it's a little bit different. Your emotions, and because it can create chaos in our body if we have a lot of stress going on. We all know that if we're people are stressed at work, then it can cause a heart attack or something.
Right.
But those emotions, whatever they are, they will cause some kind of outcome in our body. And so it's important to realize that we can go back to choosing again, but doesn't mean that we're going to be all it's not all about unicorns and rainbows,
Right. Right. Right.
but that doesn't mean, and I would tell my kids this, those are giving you muscles. And so, like you're not going to gain muscles in the gym by just bench pressing air. And
Right.
I would tell them that I have 5 sons, only 2 daughters, and they're very, they love to play football, and so they're accustomed to being in the gym and hard workouts and those type of things, and they would understand that those circumstances are going to give you super, like muscles, like of supernatural muscles, like spiritual muscles.
Right.
And those are
Right.
the things that give you that ability in life to go forth and to have the strength, so when things come along, that it doesn't crush you, but it helps to create that superpower within, like where you look like you are a superhero. But the healing environment doesn't just include, it can be even maybe where you are. If you're in a place that feels very toxic, the people around you, that maybe the where you're living, if you are, it's really gloomy and cloudy all the time and it's bringing your emotions down, to create those spaces, to be very intentional. Sometimes we're not really intentional, we're not realizing, we don't understand, and we're not really knowing what's going on. And so if we start being more intentional, then we can go and, I call it heal thyself, because it's
Mhm.
really about being intentional and knowing. So I like to say heal. The healthy environment is, it is emotional, spiritual, physical, mental, all of those things together. They create a supernatural synergy that really can promote you into that space where you really want to grow to be, and not allowing life circumstances to crush you and bring you down.
I like how you say it's a muscle because when you think about a muscle, you think that you've done it over and over and over again. And when you said that, I was immediately thinking about the people who look at things from a negative half full. That's a muscle as well, right?
Yeah. Oh,
So
definitely.
that's the knee jerk reaction is, oh my God, why is this so bad? What is this? Is this a problem? Is this like no problem? Everything is good, right?
Yeah.
And so that muscle of knee jerk reactions to situations that we're labeling as either good or bad. And I actually have a parable that I talk about with that whole situation in this farmer. And I'm not going to say it now because we're in the middle of bio boot camp, but some people have heard me talk about it. And at the end of it, each time something happens, the neighbors and all the people around is like, "That's bad, huh? That's good, huh?" And every time he says maybe, because we need to see how it plays out. So many times in our life, we think this was the worst thing that could have ever happened to us, and all we had to do was just really wait it out because hindsight is 2020. And you see what the
Yeah.
blessing was and how it got you out of the way from something that
Yes.
wasn't for you, right? So,
I couldn't agree anymore. I couldn't agree
absolutely.
anymore. I even agree that that my son's having that diagnosis got us, it got us out of a terrible situation, until now we're all in a healthier environment. All of us, with all 7 of my kids, are all in a healthier environment because of that diagnosis. And so I'm thankful, not that he got sick or whatever, but I'm
Right.
thankful of how it was used. And just like you said, yes, totally agree. I mean, I had chill bumps when you're saying that, because I actually say that too. Yeah,
Absolutely, absolutely. So you are brand new on the team. You just got this bottle.
I
Each and
did.
every person that's on Bio Boot Camp has talked about the gel, but you're brand new. So tell me if you're excited. What are you thinking? What you got?
I am excited. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see my results. I am looking forward to this. Everyone can benefit from improving their health. So heck yeah, I'm excited.
And you have a homeopathic natural type of background. This is homeopathic. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, I'm a certified natural health professional, and so I love how you can help your body naturally, and that's what I'm all about. I love to heal with foods. I'm actually working on that right now, getting a healing certification. So I just love using natural things for medicine. I just think that's the beautiful way and the way to go as much as possible. Now I know that everything has its place, and I'm not saying anything negative about that, but yeah,
Absolutely. So, you know what? I'm curious to see with what you do and this together, right? So,
right,
because when you start healing your body from a food intake, that helps your body on the cellular level.
right.
Making better cells and then multiplying them faster is what this is all about. So, multiplying a healthier cell faster will definitely get you better results. I want you and I to work together, and we're going to be doing some things side by side. I mean, you're part of Justice League, but I feel as if you have a special knack with that whole natural situation. We've had surgeons on here, doctors on here, football players on here, bodybuilders, pharmacists, nutritionists. We have all of these people that are on here, but I really believe if you can get certified from a food standpoint, you and I can do some big things with this product. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited. This is
I'm
really exciting.
all
So
right. Totally,
excited.
totally excited. Now, I know you help women and you empower women. Tell women right now, how could they contact you to release their inner badasses?
Yeah, you can reach me. I have on my social media at Melody Self. I'm mostly on Facebook. I do have, my email, and it's that badass mama at gmail.com. And I even have, yeah, I was
Okay.
like, that's the best way. Really, those are the best ways, is through the email or really through the social media.
Okay. All right. Well, I want to thank you for being a part of this. We did a huge launch earlier today. I've already gotten some feedback that a lot of people are looking to see this again. So I would love for you to
Amazing.
keep moving forward with this. Hopefully, I can get you on board with that. Hey guys, we're going to be right back in just a couple of moments. Let me see who else we have that's waiting to come up next, and I'll be right back. Say bye, Melody.
Thank you. Bye. I'm so excited.
All right.